We're doing well, and we appreciate you taking your time to come out and visit with us.
Excellent. I appreciate you. So, now, from what I understand, the original owners were Mike and Karen Hatzel.
That's correct.
And they opened in 2007. You and Margaret Meyer, you guys purchased it in 2024.
That is correct.
Okay. And Christopher Meyer, I'm assuming you guys are related somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know how. We'll figure that out maybe.
Yep.
You're the winemaker.
I am, and the general manager, but I'm not winemaker.
Right.
Yep.
So you're doing all the thinking and working, and you're counting the money, right? Is that what's going on here?
I pretty much just fix what breaks. Yeah.
Okay.
Lend a hand to whoever needs it. I always say I have the cellar guy, boss, general boss, and then I have the ladies in here there's one fellow we have that works in here in the tasting room, and they're the ones that basically tell me what to do.
Excellent. Okay.
Yep.
That's how it probably should be.
Yep.
I mean, you take care of the big things, they take care of the little things. I don't know, or maybe vice versa.
It's kind of vice versa. Yeah.
Okay. So what got you into what made you decide to purchase it? Because it's quite a leap.
It really is, and I tell you, we started out. To give you a little background, Chris was in college. We started just home brewing beer and looking for a major, I guess. Chris, you were kind of looking for a major. You went up to UK to be in the environmental science program, and they sent you over to ag school because of your interest in fermentation and distillation, right?
Correct. So yeah, I went up to UK and I got into the horticulture program, and the plan was to try and brew beer. But then I started working with plants, and I took a couple of classes about winemaking and taking care of grapes out in the vineyard. And I realized that I could do both. I could work with plants and make alcohol at the same time. And I just kind of fell into it. So that's really how it started. And then I moved down I had an internship down in Southern Illinois that turned into a job. I worked at a place called Blue Sky Winery in the Shawnee Wine Trail. If anybody knows about SIU, I lived in Carbondale, so I worked there for about 2.5 years. Learned a lot about vineyard management, taking care of grapes. That's what I did mostly there. And then I moved up to Bloomington, Indiana, and I worked at Oliver Winery, and I worked in their cellar. So that's where I learned a lot about, managing pumps, bulk moves, working filters, clarifying wine, that kind of stuff. And then now I'm here.
So then, while he was doing that, Margaret and I really enjoyed visiting wineries. We went to California, Oregon, Washington, and we started to visit wineries in Kentucky. And I'm ashamed to say that before that, we were unaware of the number of wineries in Kentucky, and frankly, that there are a lot of really good winemakers and great wine in Kentucky. We had a bias, like so many people, that you can't get good wine in Kentucky, and that's simply not true. So one day on our way back,
and it's the other, I don't mean to cut you off, but then the other thing is local. So when you go to a local place, you're helping the local community.
100%.
And you can do that on a long weekend. You don't have to travel to California or France or wherever you think you have to go.
That's absolutely right. And we work really hard to support local people around here. We do music. We employ local musicians. We try to bring in the food trucks that are local. So we work really hard to do that, Rick, and that's a great point. But so to get back to how we got here, we were on our way back from visiting him at UK one day. We decided to take the Bluegrass, and we wound up coming through, and we stopped at a couple wineries. We stopped here on a Saturday night.
Nice.
There was, Mike was here with Karen. They had live music. I started to chat with Mike and told him that I really thought I wanted to own a winery. And to Mike's credit, he said that was the worst thing he could possibly imagine doing. So I said,
what's the old saying about like Carlos or something? If you want to make $1 million,
start, yeah.
Yes, if you want to make $1 million, spend 3 or something like that.
Yeah. So we, so I kind of hung around here. We kept coming back. We enjoyed it. We enjoyed coming to this winery. And then I said, Mike, you might be right. Maybe not a winery, maybe a vineyard. And he said, no, I originally told you that a winery was the worst idea. You have actually found an
An even worse idea.
than that. Yeah. So, but he said, look, if you're serious, come up here, work with me. I'll show you what we do, how we do it, what it takes. Chris was doing his thing. So I came up here and worked with Mike a few times, you know, and out in the vineyard, in the cellar, and kept trying to talk him into selling, and he really wasn't interested. But then one day,
Well, he got some free labor out of you. I
he
guess.
did, he did. But one day
He's no dummy.
he called and said, "Look, we are getting to the point where this is a little more than I want to do. If you're serious, come on up." And we did, and that's how we wound up here.
Excellent.
So Mike and Karen were very generous with their time and frankly mentorship that they've given us. They've been really great. And again, just to kind of let you know, their vision was a winery, and they started with a tire dump. Our vision was a winery, and we started with a winery. So we started a little bit ahead of what they started with. And there are some pictures out front that we keep to kind of continue their legacy of what they started with and where they came from. Because I think it's important to see what someone with a vision can do with what were really bad conditions, I thought.
Well, the tire dump. What do you mean by tire dump?
It was literally a tire. This was a tire shop.
Oh, this building was a tire shop
This
before.
was a tire shop. They converted this. This is where, in this room, where they originally started their production and moved back into the cellar as they grew, that they built. And we've expanded that a little bit since then. We've improved some of the equipment, some of the processes a little bit because of his knowledge of coming from a much larger winery.
Well, the winery's got to be better for the environment, right?
You'd think, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a touch.